Okay, hi folks. So I finally got around to do this video where I'm going to talk about the microphone setup that I've got inside my helmet to allow me to do some moto vlogs. So I already had a GoPro 11 mini, which is a pretty good camera to be fair. It's nice and small and compact. And I wanted to be able to find a microphone that would fit and be compatible with this, that would be decent quality as well. I discovered, however, that in order to use an external microphone with a GoPro, you need to buy GoPro's own microphone adapter, which is this bit here. It plugs into the USB-C port in the side of the camera, and that is the adapter where your earphones fit into, using the 3.5mm jack into there. So there are probably better cameras out there, of course, Insta360, DJI, but I wasn't going to go out and spend hundreds of pounds when I already had this, and there are probably better microphones out there. I did try this Hollyland lapel mic tucked into the helmet, but the audio quality was terrible. So I was searching YouTube, trying to find out what is the best mic for moto vlogging, and I came across a video where somebody was trying to do the same. They were trying to find a decent mic, and they suggested using something that most of us have probably got lying around, and that is a pair of old Apple earphones. Now, these aren't the Apple ones, these are slightly cheaper ones, and I'll talk about why I've got the cheaper ones in a second. But most of us have probably got these lying around, and if you remember using these, you'll remember that on these microphones there is an on these earphones there is an inline microphone. In the video, the guy had cut the earphone piece off there and cut the other earphone off the Y cable there. I was a little bit skeptical about cutting them at first, so I tried the Apple earphones without cutting the earphones off, and the microphone worked fine. It was good quality, but I found that to try and tuck these away inside the helmet, it was a little bit bulky, and it wasn't great. So before I actually cut the Apple ones up, I bought two pairs for £6 off Amazon, cheap versions, just to try them out, because I wanted to make sure that if I cut them up, then it would still work. So I did that, and it did work. So I cut the earphone off the end of the microphone part of the cable, and I cut the other earphone cable off as well. So now you just have one single wire, 3.5mm jack at the end, and then the microphone at the other end. And then this is basically routed from one side of the helmet here all the way around to the other side of the helmet. The microphone itself is tucked in, and I don't know if you're able to see that, but it's sort of tucked in just there. You probably can't quite see it because I've covered it with some stuff. But it's tucked in. It doesn't interfere with my face or my mouth while I'm riding normally, and it can just sit there permanently. What I've also done, and the reason it's black, is because I've covered the mic with one of those little fluffy wind deflectors for the microphone, and then secured it down, taped it down using a bit of material from my good lady's stockings. And then the other end sort of comes out of there, and then when I'm not using it, it tucks away inside the cheek pads and doesn't interfere at all. So it's a fairly decent setup, and that can permanently live in there. So that works really well. Now the the whole setup pretty much is, and you'll notice that there's another slight adapter on the end of that, and the reason for that is, in order to work best, and in some cases in order to work at all, you'll notice that on the end of these earphones there are three rings. I don't know if the camera can focus, but there are three rings. This is called a TRRS, tip ring ring sleeve. So basically 3 rings means that there are 3 cables, one for each of the earphones, one for the microphone. So 3 wires inside there. In order to work effectively with the GoPro adapter, you need another little adapter, which is just a couple of quid. And this one is a TRS, tip ring sleeve. So 2 cables, 2 wires, if you will. So basically the TRRS 3.5mm jack of the end of the microphone fits into the adapter, making it TRS, which in turn then fits into the 3.5mm jack socket inside the adapter, and then that is pretty much the whole setup. So nice and easy, nice and simple, without having to go out and spend hundreds of pounds on decent mics and even more compatible cameras. If anybody's interested in getting into doing any moto vlogs, then fantastic. That's a nice easy setup, and you've probably got a pair of those earphones lying around which you might not use anymore anyway. So I just thought I'd share that with you. The audio is good. I wouldn't say it's excellent, but it's good. It's good enough. And there are other ways of doing it. I'm sure you can use these expensive comms systems as well, like Cardo or Senna, but I've never really been into using comms. I just don't use them. So I wasn't going to go out and buy, hundreds of pounds worth of expensive comm systems only to be able to do some moto vlogging. I already had the camera. I just needed a microphone. So there you go, folks. Nice, simple, easy hack if anybody's interested in doing this. So yeah, just thought I'd share that with you.